Welcome back to How to Use ChatGPT to Grow Your Coaching Business Part 2. We're going to focus in this video on how to use it to boost your brand. Let's go. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the ways that you can use ChatGPT to boost your brand, specific projects that you can use it for. And then I'm also going to share with you some examples of some playing around I did. And then finally, how you can take what you got from ChatGPT, load it up into the internet to then influence what ChatGPT sees in the future, not right away, but perhaps the next 1 or 2 times that it crawls the internet, which I expect will start to happen on a more regular basis. Branding requires a lot of ideas and brainstorming. I know this because I operated as a personal branding strategist for many years, and I still do to some degree with my inner circle clients. And it can get easy to get stuck in that process, needing ideas and feeling like you're staring at a blank page. That's where I think ChatGPT shines the most, in getting you over the hump and the hurdle of where do I even begin? What ChatGPT can do is generate a lot of ideas to get you going and start to move you down a path. Reminder though, we don't want to overly rely on it. We're using it to source ideas, but we don't want to whole scale just lift content from ChatGPT and use it. So here are a few specific projects that you can use ChatGPT for. The first is to write bios for you. We're going to dive into each of these more specifically in a minute, but I just want to lay out what the basic things, the projects, the branding projects are. The bios, and then writing social media profiles. So for example, when people land on Instagram and they see your picture and they decide whether they're going to follow you or not, that description right there, ChatGPT is great at giving you ideas for that description. It's great for writing taglines, titles and subtitles, and it's also great for brainstorming branding ideas. So let's get into these in a moment, but before I do, I want to share some best practices for using ChatGPT. So what you're going to do is you're going to start to learn how to get really good at writing prompts for ChatGPT. Now, what I've found is the more specific you can get with your prompts, the better. So what that looks like is, for example, giving ChatGPT parameters. So rather than saying, for example, write a bio about Michelle Villalobos, which is going to spit back, something kind of generic looking sounding, you might want to give it information like, write a bio for Michelle Villalobos that's 100 words that focuses on her expertise in retreats and group coaching programs. And make it sound inspirational and motivational, and try to use the words shine and superstar. So you see how much information I gave ChatGPT. Now it's going to weave together something way more aligned and way more appropriate for my brand. Another thing that you can do, this is one of my favorite things to do, is you can tell it to write something in the style of a certain person. Later, I'm going to share with you an example of one way that I did this that came out pretty fun. Now, one thing to know about ChatGPT is it does have a word limit. So it tends toward, I think, sort of short to medium form responses. So it's helpful to give it a word count of what you're looking for. I've also found that ChatGPT can get a little fluffy, where it kind of uses a lot of filler words and stuff that sounds a little bit trite or overused. That's why I recommend giving it specific language that's aligned for your brand. Another thing you might not know about how you can use it is you can feed ChatGPT a link. So for example, if you want it to write a bio about you, you can give it a link to your website and say, pull information from this particular website. A lot of people don't realize you can do that. Another thing you can do is you can copy paste your existing bio into ChatGPT and ask it to rewrite it for you with certain parameters. Now there is a limit to how much text you can drop in there, but it's a pretty substantial amount. You can put a good amount of content in there. I tried to post like 30 pages worth of content in there. That's too much. But if you feed it a website, so you could load those 30 pages onto, say, a website or even onto a Google Docs, you'd have to make sure the Google Docs is shared and that it's editable by anyone with the link. And if you do that, then ChatGPT can be pointed to that Google Doc and can write something from that Google Doc if you can't paste the whole thing in there. So that's the workaround for that. Another best practice is to work with ChatGPT in one window over time on one topic. Every time you have a different thing that you want to do, I recommend opening a new chat with ChatGPT. But whenever you are referencing back something you've already done, once you open up a ChatGPT window, that conversation that you've had with ChatGPT is saved in your account. So you can go back to it and then you can ask it to refine things. So if it spits back a bio that you hate, you can say, hey, rewrite it, but this time try it this way or this way, right? So you can keep refining in one window, but every time you open up every time you're gonna do a new thing, I would recommend opening up a new chat window. So let's play a little bit. I did some ChatGPT work. I've got my computer right here. I'm gonna read you a few things I did. So I told ChatGPT, write a bio for Michelle Villalobos from the information at superstaractivator.com. I'm not going to read you the whole thing it wrote back, but just suffice it to say, it's kind of blah. It said things like, Michelle is a seasoned business strategist and a sales expert with over 18 years of experience in the corporate world. Now, I don't know where it got that, because the truth is I've had 15 years of experience as an entrepreneur, and I was 10 years before that. So I've got actually 25 years of total experience, and only 7 of that or 10 of that was in the corporate space. So it made that up. Her insights on leadership, personal branding, and entrepreneurship have been featured in numerous media outlets. That's true. And it labels the outlets. And then it says, Michelle's also the author of The Stiletto in Your Back, The Good Girl's Guide to Backstabbers, Bullies, Gossips, and Queen Bees at Work. Now that's a problem right there, because I unpublished that book. I wrote that book many years ago from a different consciousness level, and I unpublished it when I realized that that's not the work that I wanted to be associated with in the world. So I'm like, hey, ChatGPT, no thank you. Please take out that line. And so I gave it this new direction. I said, swap out the line about corporate for Michelle has over 15 years of experience as a successful entrepreneur, and rewrite without referencing the Stiletto book and instead reference this book. And then I gave it the But I Want to Fly book website URL. So it rewrote the bio much, much better. And then I said, and this is where it got kind of fun, I said, now write the same bio in the style of Dr. Seuss. Isn't that funny? And then it came back with a beautiful 4-stanza poem. I'll read you a little bit of it. It says, meet Michelle Villalobos, an inspiring lady who helps you unleash your superstar, maybe. Founder of Superstar Activator, oh, what fun. She'll help you shine bright like the midday sun. And it goes on and on. I won't belabor the whole thing, but you get the idea. So you can tell it to write in the style of Shakespeare or Hemingway or whatever person that you might want to emulate. And that's just for fun, right? Another thing you can do is you can have it write a social media description. So here's what I did. I said, write an inspiring and witty description of Michelle Villalobos for Instagram. Make it short enough to fit the profile description for Instagram, and please use, I can't help myself, I'm polite, even with an AI robot. And please use the words superstar and shine. Here's the result. Helping you shine like the superstar you are. Insights on leadership, entrepreneurship, and personal growth. Follow for inspiration and empowerment. Hashtag leadership, hashtag entrepreneurship, hashtag shine, right? And then, so here's a template that you can use. I put this together just for you. Here's a template that you can use to write descriptions. This is what you'd write in the ChatGPT box. Write a blank adjective and blank description for your name, for Instagram or for Facebook or for Twitter, whatever you want. If your name is common, I recommend linking to your LinkedIn profile or someplace on the internet that has information about you. Please make it X length. So give it the length, the parameters, and tailor it to X social media platform. Also, use the words X and Y. So use maybe 2, give it a few brand buzzwords that align for you. So that's a nice template that you can use to write a description for social media. Now, finally, the last example I'm going to give is brainstorming brand ideas. So you can just ask ChatGPT to give you 10 or 15 or 20 or even 100 different ideas for a specific project. So for example, you might use ChatGPT to say, ChatGPT, give me 10 ideas for how to brand myself in a creative way at an entrepreneur conference booth, right? And ChatGPT can spit back things like have cupcakes at your table or give away a free prize. It'll give you ideas for how you can brand yourself more effectively. I just love this tool. I hope you love it too. Now I'm gonna invite you to try it yourself, have some fun with it, play with it for your brand, and I'd love it if you would post your brand ideas below, to post the copy that you come up with through ChatGPT below and tag me. I'd love to hear what you create using ChatGPT. And now let's go to my third video, which is all about how you can use it to market your programs. By the way, if you're curious about what it looks like to work with me as your business coach, let's connect. You can find out more at superstaractivator.com/go.